Optima Living operates high-quality seniors living communities across the lands now known as Alberta and British Columbia, traditional territories of diverse Indigenous peoples. We acknowledge that the lands where our communities stand and that our staff and residents call home are the traditional territories of many First Nations people, and we recognize their history. Hello everyone, good morning, afternoon, evening, midnight, not sure what time you may be watching this at, but welcome. My name is Shivji. I'm one of the principals at Optima Living, and today I'm kind of in the presence of celebrities, in the presence of an incredible person named Deanna Cable, who we are here speaking to you from Sherwood Park, and Deanna runs a company called A Step Up, which is a company that has given us as an organization a step up. Well, I guess many years ago now, if I think about it. We started working with you 3-4 years ago now.
Yes,
now,
just
I don't know.
In the middle of COVID. Just when COVID started, because I couldn't get anything in the stores.
Exactly, I remember
anything.
that. Like, what is going on here?
That was a challenge. I thought if I can stage during this, I can stage anytime.
Yeah, right? And now what I don't understand, and we need to talk about this at some point, maybe not on camera, but is, one, how you managed to look younger 3 years later, and I managed to look older 3 years later, but at least we're averaging out.
Well, thank you.
Okay. Well,
only my hairdresser knows for sure.
Exactly. We have to get that hairdresser's phone number. So we're talking today a little bit about this idea of place and how, at Optima we're always conscious about how do we help, one, welcome people home, and two, how do we help them live their best lives? And what we found is that there are many factors that influence people living their best life. And whether or not they're home, whether they're not, they're in one of our residences, we found that this idea of place makes a really big difference. Mm-hmm. And that place can have an incredible aspect in their quality of life, either by improving it and just making them happier, lively more, and I'd love your thoughts on that, or because it lessens their risks, be it their falls risks, be it, how many people have just like clutter and other things in their house that they've been there for a while, and that whole aspect. And third, it gives them an option of moving into a new place or meeting a new group of people or having that kind of social engagement. When you think a little bit about, and maybe you can tell us a little bit about the work that you do, and why do you do it? Why is it that you stage and do work particularly in the seniors world?
It doesn't matter how old you are. You love nice things, right? And so that's where my passion is with the seniors, to help them love their space. I'm always thinking about the person that could possibly live here and how it would make them feel.
When you were thinking about the person that would live here in this suite, what did you think about?
I thought I just wanted them to feel at home. And that was one of the staff members told me coming in. She said, it feels so homey.
In your mind, if we look at the flip side, how have you seen someone's space, when not optimized, when not kind of thought of in a thoughtful way, how have you seen it impede them from living their best life?
I think that they may not even realize it, but it is anxiety inducing. Yeah, when there's lots of clutter and things around.
And we've seen that. I've seen that a lot. I've definitely seen that where residents don't realize it, but it actually does subconsciously stop them from going out. Sometimes you may not have people visit you. Sometimes you're scared to always go out and out because you're going to trip on something. And there is a lot that can happen from just space and its effect on people in that regard.
Yeah, just having to sit down and actually, if you have to go through every object, and talk about it, whether to keep it, whether to give it away, give it to family, that kind of thing. It can be a long process. Yeah.
Have you found any tips for people out there who are working with their families and?
Yeah, I say get somebody from outside. I think it's difficult when it's family helping family, because you've got all that baggage to deal with, right? Whereas somebody coming in fresh is a little different. And
is that something that A Step Up does? Do you help people downsize their homes and go through that process? And
we definitely can come alongside anybody, and because I've had experience staging these show suites, I know where to get the furniture. I know the dimensions of the furniture that fit. Typically, people coming from homes have large furniture, dark furniture, and it just doesn't work. Yeah. So definitely we could come alongside them and help them make that a smooth transition.
Yeah, and I kind of like to say to everyone, look, if you're thinking about it or if you have some thoughts, just call us. Right. And let's talk about it. Right. And let's help you, let someone help you figure out what the art of possible is, as opposed to just getting stuck in your own head with it, right? Because right. It makes it difficult and there's no need to. Yeah,
and a lot of questions first before we even start doing anything at all.
How do you help someone realize that they probably need to change their space, or change what's in their space?
Honestly, they have to be ready. You can't make that decision for them, but you have to involve them in the process, you know.
So we're at Country Cottage today.
Yes.
And maybe take us through a little bit about the evolution of the show suite that we're sitting in today. There's a couple of things I want to ask you about, but do you want to start with what was the evolution of thoughts that took you through this place?
Well, the first thing you purchase is the artwork, because all of the colors in the room come from the art.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And then when I saw this piece, I had to have it. It's beautiful.
Fair. Yeah. And so when you were here, let's talk about this table. What made you pick this table of all tables, and why?
This table I picked specifically for the seniors because it doesn't have any square edges. Anything round or oval, kidney-shaped is perfect for staging in a senior residence.
And tell me, why would it matter?
Because so they don't bump their knees, so that because they have the walkers, they need something that's smaller and rounded on the edges. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the type of furniture. So we're in kind of the living room area of this show suite. It's a one-bedroom show suite. There's not a couch here.
Right.
Tell me, why not? Why haven't you put more furniture in here? Yeah. Why aren't we have a couch here and two chairs there, another little chair? Like.
Right. Well, typically elderly people, if you think about it, they all have their favorite chair, right? Mm-hmm. As opposed to, they seldom sit on couches. So they have their favorite chair. And so that's why I chose the chairs.
The engineer inside me has noticed some patterns. So there's some like 3s and 5s, I think. Yeah. There may be 7 lemons over there, yeah. but I think there's at least a couple of these like 3s and 5s. Tell me about that. Is there something about patterns, or is there something about numbers?
Always you stage 3s or 5s, all odd numbers, just for balance. And some things I don't even know the reason, I just know it works. I'll look at it and go, that doesn't look right.
I also find mirrors. I'm looking at this mirror behind you, and the mirrors are also very interesting, because one, I can see that art piece, I don't have to turn around. Mm-hmm. But tell me about the play of mirrors in your
mirrors
world.
Mirrors are very important in a small space. They make it appear larger. They also, like you said, they reflect the beauty.
Yeah.
Right. So you always place a mirror across from something beautiful, or across from the outside if you want to show off the outside, if that's your focal point.
Well, maybe I should ask you, actually, there's one thing I remembered here, which is we've also refreshed the lobby area, the library here at Country Cottage. And anything you want to say about that? Like anything that that were both inspirations or kind of what you've done there that are worth seeing, and people may come in and see that at some point?
I've really enjoyed doing the lobby and the library, the hall, that type of thing. I just love how fresh it is now. And again, just thinking about the people here and just honoring them, and the idea of them having a nice space to live in and enjoy is an inspiration to me.
And what better pleasure than anything else is to have a space that you love, yes, that you're excited about, and you can invite someone to come and join you in it. Yes. And I think that there is a part that we sometimes forget, which is there are many seniors that I speak with, I run into, who have maybe had a spouse pass away, maybe for whatever reason, find themselves in the home that they lived in for a long time by themselves. Yeah. And oftentimes I say to people, look, there are more people that frankly die from loneliness and, yes, isolation and boredom than they do from any diseases. Mm-hmm. And if there's one thing I would always encourage people is, if you're alone at home, find a way to be part of a community, right? Find a way to either come into one of our sites and spend the day with us, go and be part of a community center, but realize that as creatures of human nature, I don't know, we're not creatures of habit, but also just individuals that are looking for a connection. Ultimately, the message we want to convey to everybody is feel free to, don't do this by yourself. If you're feeling like your environment is something that you're getting down by, or you're also just curious about, hey, I'm feeling lonely, or I'm feeling isolated, I'm feeling bored, give us a call, and we're happy to help. We're happy to help you think about that, or help you think about different things.
Some seniors don't have family. And then what do? Because they don't have, they might not be tech savvy, so they can't order online. They don't have a car, they can't go shopping for furniture, but we can do all that for them.
Well, as we've been going through, there's been obviously so much discussion we've had, and really appreciate you taking the time, and thank you for joining us. Ultimately, this comes down to the fact that if you find yourself at home, if you find yourself lonely or in a space that just doesn't excite you, give us a call. You don't have to do this alone. We're here to hold your hand. We're here to welcome you home, even if it's at your home, ours, or your future home. Ultimately, there are many people out there that can help you, and we all are, at the end of the day, we all just want you to live your best life. Welcome everyone, my name is Ali. I'm here with Cheryl and Greg, who is our general manager here at Country Cottage. Tell me about what you've learned about seniors and helping them understand that a place like Country Cottage is good for them, or not, but yeah.
It's challenging, but it's a great challenge. Sometimes there's an aversion too, right? There's sometimes a stigma attached to seniors living or retirement living. Working to educate and help navigate too, depending on what the needs of the individuals are. Are they truly independent? Do they maybe require a minimal amount of assistance or support, or more substantial? So I think it's listening, understanding, and then providing information and letting them make the decisions that suit their situation, their dynamic, their family, their financial, whatever that looks like for them.
Well, nice to meet you, Lois.
Nice to meet you.
So you live in the penthouse, I hear. So
That's what I call it, the penthouse on 3.
Yes, and tell me about, we've made some changes at Country Cottage. One of them is we've redone the show suite. I'm glad that it looks like you're matching the show suite very well. This show suite looks very good on you. But what are your thoughts about some of the changes, both in color and in...
What a difference it's made in I think everybody's attitude and the atmosphere when you walk into the front entrance is just wow.
I think it was needed, it was necessary, right? We all need a refresh. And to see how the change affects the residents first and foremost, it's their home, right? We have the privilege of working in their home, but to see also the staff, it's really been a huge motivator, I would say. It's really impacted the spirit of team culture.
Yeah, is there something that stands out to you? Something that's actually really enlivened your spirit or made a substantial difference? Or
Yes, I love the brightness of it now. I love the hallways. It looks beautiful. It just smells different. It feels different. Walking, it feels different. The whole building just feels so bright and inviting. I just think it looks wonderful.
Country Cottage always is a special place for me in my heart. Just like I love this like very intimate home style cottage environment, right?
And it feels that way now. I love it, yeah.
Yeah.
I like the color scheme and I love the pictures. Like I think it looks like country-ish, which goes with the name, Country Cottage. Like
totally.
I love the vibe of everything. I've been here for 11 years and it hasn't been anything new like that for quite a while. So it's very exciting.
How do you describe Country Cottage to people outside?
I describe it as this quaint, charming little gem. I think the size, the coziness, the atmosphere, the attitude is very welcoming and very warm. And I think that just speaks volumes to who we are and what we do every day.
Everybody knows everybody. They know when a room is maybe empty or a new face comes around. And I love that they want to interact and meet and hear their stories. And yeah, it's just really community. Like we truly are a family here.
What is it about Country Cottage that makes it feel like home?
I enjoy the company of the staff. They're all very, very kind and thoughtful and look after us very well. Country Cottage is here for me when I need them, and there's no hesitate about coming when I ring my bell, because I'm very comfortable where I am and who I am, and know we've done the right thing to move in to Country Cottage.
It's just warm. It's a good place. It's a good place to live, and it's a great place to work.
I mean, let us welcome you home, and let us find ways that we can give you choice back, and that we can engage you in a way that you do feel like you have purpose, that you do have friends, you do have people that are here to take care of you, and also to give you that life to even be able to make new memories, which is a super important part.
Undoubtedly, the space in which we live has an impact on our health. It's the so-called salutogenic effect of the environment. We've been doing quite a bit of research on congregate living homes and the effect of the natural environment and the built environment on both the health and well-being of older adults that reside in those environments, but also on the staff that work in them too. And undoubtedly, what's perceived as a clean, homely environment with the natural environment included in it has very positive benefits. You might be aware that the Japanese have a phrase called tree bathing, where walking in a forest can be a prescribed exercise, and it undoubtedly has physical benefits and even changes into how the body reacts in terms of health, inflammation and stress. You might say, well, okay, how does that happen? Largely the mechanisms are unknown, but if you show people artificial flowers and real flowers, you can detect a difference in the response to the real environment versus the artificial or made environment. So the watchword is quality of life, isn't it? And quality of life when you're residing in a home which wasn't perhaps the home in which you thought you might live for the rest of your life, and how you recreate a homely environment. And undoubtedly, the more homely the environment, the better. And people will go to great lengths to recreate their home in terms of things that are familiar to them, things to which they can relate in terms of the built environment, but more importantly, both the architectural features which they relate to, and people will purposefully build architectural features designed to promote health of older adults. Clearly, the safety of any environment in which we live needs to be considered. As you might recall from some previous talks, older adults are more likely to fall than younger adults. Preservation of mobility is key. So residing in an environment which is relatively uncluttered without trip hazards is very important. And undoubtedly, in congregate living, homes are designed with walkways, safety features, and should be relatively uncluttered to allow free mobility. Many people who are considering entering congregate living are concerned about things like, can I take my pets? Relationships with pets are extremely important, have positive health-providing characteristics. People who are long-term owners of pets are cognitively largely more intact than people who don't have such pets. Whether this is because of the impact of the pet on socialization, meeting other dog walkers, for instance, is unknown. But cats and dogs in particular have positive effects on blood pressure, heart rate and psychological well-being. Doesn't seem to count for fish.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of OLTV. If you liked what you saw and you want to watch more, like this video and subscribe to the Optima Living channel right here on YouTube.